On this episode of AMA Air, we'll talk to Crystal Pearson to learn about the AMA Walk of Fame.
We'll also introduce you to Chad Budreau, AMA's Interim Executive Director.
Plus, we'll take a look at a program for clubs that can help grow the hobby. All that and more on this episode of AMA Air.
Hello and welcome to AMA Air, your source for modeling news. I'm Chris Savage.
And I'm Erin Dobbs.
The Magnificent Mountain Men will be holding a June late day scramble in Denver, Colorado on June 10th. The club urges attendees to come and enjoy flying under beautiful Colorado skies on the largest field in the USA.
The 22nd Annual Spring Classic IMAC will be held by the Bay City Flyers in Land O'Lakes, Florida on June 2nd and 3rd. You can pre-register on the IMAC website.
AMA will be sponsoring a NATS tune-up on June 1st through the 3rd here at the International Air Modeling Center in Muncie, Indiana. Remember to visit nats.modelaircraft.org for the 2018 NATS dates. Indoor free flight begins May 23rd.
The St. Louis RC Flying Association will be holding a giant scale and jet fly-in June 1st through the 3rd in Eureka, Missouri. Flying starts at 9:30 a.m. daily.
The Northeast Valley RC Club will be holding a trainer day on June 3rd in Conningham, Pennsylvania. The club will supply the aircraft and attendees can fly with one of the instructors.
The Yakima Valley Air Modelers will be hosting the UVAM Veterans Airlift on June 9th in Zyla, Washington. The event will include some open flying raffles and an auction with all proceeds benefiting the local VFW chapter.
For more information on these events or to find one in your area, you can check out the sanctioned event calendar in Model Aviation or at modelaircraft.org. So I really like these trainer day programs, so where they invite the public out, people can come out and fly, they've got an instructor right there with them, they don't have to have their own aircraft. What a great way to bring down the barrier of entry to get people an opportunity to participate.
Absolutely, we do the same thing here at headquarters.
And there's no way we could do any of that without the clubs volunteering their time. So thank you so much to that club and to all the others that do similar events. You're doing a great job.
Absolutely. Coming up, learn what makes the AMA Walk of Fame so special.
Do you have a story you think we should have on AMA Air? Then visit air.modelaircraft.org and tell us about it by sending us an airmail. And if you're not already a member of the AMA, be sure to visit modelaircraft.org and sign up today.
The AMA Expo West at the Fairplex will be held November 2nd through the 4th, 2018 in Pomona, California. The event will feature exhibitors, speakers, RC cars, boats, model trains, and of course, model airplanes. If seeing all of these great models isn't enough, the event will also include indoor and outdoor flying. With the event just a few months away, the outdoor flying schedule is still a work in progress, but it and other event information is available now at amaexpowest.com. And soon we'll be adding even more information to the website regarding pilot and volunteer registration. The new AMA Expo West at the Fairplex really does have something for everyone. So head over to amaexpowest.com and start planning your trip now.
The Center for Robotic Assisted Search and Rescue announced the first ever Disaster Robotics Awards last month. The organization gave awards for rescue robots as well as awards and acknowledgments for achievements. According to Dr. Robin Murphy, the Disaster Robotics Awards were created to raise awareness of what's working and to encourage officials to plan ahead for disasters. The DJI Mavic Pro was named the 2018 Aerial Rescue Robot of the Year, and you can read a review of the Mavic Pro at modelaviation.com.
FAI would like to celebrate innovative uses for drones with the Prince Alvaro de Orleans Bourbon Grant. The $20,000 grant is open to individuals and institutions, and the 2018 theme is Drones for Humanity. FAI President Fritz Brink says the FAI wants to recognize those working with drones to improve people's lives and make the world a safer place. All nominations must be made by June 30th, 2018. You can complete the nomination form online at fai.org.
A noteworthy model in the National Model Aviation Museum is finally complete. The Reed Falcon was flown by Steve Rojecki to win the 1984 Tournament of Champions. But when Ken Bonema donated the model to the museum in 2011 in memory of Don Chapman, there was a problem with the aircraft. Its engine was missing. Luckily, AMA District 3 Vice President Mark Radcliffe recently donated a twin Tartan engine, and after 7 years at the museum, the model is once again complete. You can learn more about the National Model Aviation Museum at modelaircraft.org.
The AMA Walk of Fame here at the International Air Modeling Center in Muncie, Indiana might seem pretty simple, but it is more than just a brick pathway. Let's take a deeper look.
The Walk of Fame program, it's actually one of my favorite things that we offer through the foundation. It's a great way to make a donation to the foundation, but also honor a loved one maybe, or a pal that has done great things in the hobby, or even a friend or a member who's passed away. It actually, I think, started in 2001. So it's been going on for over 15 years, and we have hundreds of bricks out there now at this point. And it's actually a really cool thing out front. I don't know if you have ever been out to the IAC, but if you haven't, you really are missing out on it. It's really cool too if you can see it from above, because it looks like an airplane propeller. So it's actually pretty neat. We actually have a lot of people, who purchase bricks for themselves, and we actually have a lot of staff members that do that too, just to be a part of history. The Walk of Fame is more than just, a sidewalk of bricks. It really is a place of honor. I had a man contact me about purchasing a brick for a friend of his that had passed away recently. And we did that, set it up, sent it to him, and he loved it. So he called me back and said, is there a way that we can put a brick for myself and my other friend with his brick? We've been friends for decades. We've always been out flying on the field together, and we were just a trio. So would that be possible? And I said, absolutely. There are 3 different bricks that you can purchase. There's a regular 4x8 clay brick, black lettering, it's $100. The next step up is a $500 brick, which is black with gold lettering, still a 4x8. And then the large bricks are 8x8, and you can fit 5 lines on those, and they're granite, and so they're $1,000. The other 2 smaller bricks you can fit 2 lines of character on. To me, it's just a really neat way for people to honor someone that they love, and I like that I get to be a part of that.
Walk of Fame bricks are 10% off during the month of May. You can visit modelaircraft.org and search Walk of Fame for more information.
Coming up, learn a little more about Chad Budreau, AMA's Interim Executive Director.
Every journey starts somewhere. Our journey begins with imagination. And imagination can take us anywhere. Because the best journeys end with new beginnings.
If you follow our government updates, then you'll recognize Chad Budreau. While you know him as Public Relations and Government Affairs Director, Chad has recently stepped into the role of Interim Executive Director. Let's learn a little bit more about Chad.
My name's Chad Budreau. I work at the Academy of Model Aeronautics and work 2 jobs at the moment, Government Relations, and I'm filling in for the Executive Director while the Council does their search. And so my day-to-day duties are pretty varied. I have an undergraduate degree in corporate communication and political science. I earned my master's not too long after that in marketing and media management. I started at the AMA in publications, helped launch some of their new initiatives with digital development. I started getting involved in government relations with my background and helped with the 2012 Section 336 passage, helped launch the online campaign for people to write their congressmen and women. That led into working into government relations. It's a very challenging, but it's an exciting job. I mean, I'm on the front line advocating for the hobby. Other things I like to do, I have a great family, 2 kids, a great wife, and I try to spend as much time with them as possible. So we camp, we love being outdoors. Most recently when I moved to our house, I carved out a little workshop. And so I like to tinker, and I think a lot of hobbyists like to tinker. So I do some woodworking. I've built rocking horses and end tables. I've even built some bigger things like a tree house recently. And that was a fun project. I worked with the kids. I tried to incorporate the kids, so they actually drew the blueprints out and they kind of made their wish list, and then I built it and tried to make it into a reality. I'm more of a scratch builder when it comes to building projects at home, but with model planes, I'm sticking to plans building or kit building just because I'm not at that skill level yet just to make up plans as I go. I also like to tinker with Model Ts. I bought about 10 years ago, bought this beat up Model T, and it couldn't run more than 5 miles an hour, and joined a Model T club, and we pulled the engine out, did the whole 9 yards, just complete top to bottom restoration. As a matter of fact, I was reading a model aviation article and it talked about how to build a paint booth for painting model planes, and I thought, you know, I could take that idea and make it bigger. So in my garage, I built a big paint booth based on that model aviation article, and I even painted the Model T. I did everything as much as possible myself. The interesting thing about the Model T is, for one, it always needs some sort of repair, so it gives me an excuse to tinker. But two is they're not designed to go fast, they're slow. And that slow pace is kind of nice. It forces you just to look around and see the pastures, and when you get to your destination, it's a true destination, even if it's just an ice cream shop. One project I'm working on now is a camper. So I was driving home one day and I saw this old frame and an axle, I think it was for Model A. And I bought it and I completely sanded it down, cleaned it up, the frame, and then I started building a case. I built a camper shell. And so that's the project I'm working on now, with the idea of hooking up the camper to the Model T and maybe going camping someday. So that's been, like most projects, it's supposed to be a 1-2 month project, it's grown into a couple-year project, but I'm close, close to having that project done.
So when Chad came on board, I knew that he and I were going to get along perfectly because he's a Ford guy.
And you're a Ford gal, right?
Exactly.
I love coming into work and you see everyone's kind of modern day cars in the parking lot, and then there sits Chad's Model T in his parking spot from when he came into work that morning.
Yep, it's pretty
a lot
funny.
Of fun.
Coming up, learn about a program that may help your club grow membership.
For decades, across generations, modelers have come together to compete and push the boundaries of flight. This summer, that tradition continues. Witness history at the National Aeromodeling Championships.
When someone discovers model aviation and tries it out for the first time, that person is often hooked, but how can a new pilot safely experience the hobby? Well, the AMA Introductory Pilot Program was designed to introduce the new pilot to aeromodeling while providing liability insurance coverage to the individual and the charter club. The new pilot then participates in direct one-on-one instruction with the intro pilot instructor for 60 days, starting from the first session.
To participate in the program, a club officer must complete the Introductory Pilot Instructor Designation form and submit it to AMA online, by fax, or just through the mail. And then the designation will renew automatically each year. Intro pilot instructors have the privilege of helping new pilots experience the hobby for the first time and are fantastic ambassadors for our hobby. If you or your club are interested in participating, you can visit modelaircraft.org or give us a call for more information.
That's all for this episode of AMA Air. You can stay connected with us by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For even more videos, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And from all of us here at AMA, thank you for watching.
We'll see you next time, but for now, it's time to get flying.